Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your June predictions reading. We're going to be looking at general predictions for the month of June. If you would prefer a love predictions reading, I do have one up currently from mid-May to mid-June, and I'll be doing the June-July predictions in the middle of this month. So stay tuned for that. Let's get into your reading, Aquarius. I'm going to start with some oracle cards, which will tell us the overall themes that your sign can expect to experience in the month of June. Then we're going to get more specific information with tarot and getting advice for each of the respective themes. So I'll shuffle this up and get your cards out. Before we begin, this reading is intended for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Risings. Those who have strong Aquarius placements in their chart, for example, your Venus or Mars area, maybe even your Jupiter if you're looking for your husband. But if you're not an Aquarius and you're here cross-watching, I just need you to know that I'm a very honest reader. So you may hear or see something you don't like and you have been warned, okay? Cross-watch at your own discretion, basically. Okay, Aquarius, what are their main themes for the month of June, please, Spirit Aquarius? What are their main themes for the month of June? Ooh. What are their main themes for the month of June? Aquarius. Interesting. These cards are slipping and sliding all over this table. Back of the deck is fire in the reverse position, okay? Specifically Sagittarius and Leo coming through strongly there. First card that came out for you, sweets, was waning gibbous moon. Interesting. You also had Grand Cross come out with new moon, which is interesting. New moon was slightly reversed. It's the card that sort of slipped and flipped on the table. So I'll take that into consideration when I'm reading that energy. We also have Ascendant in the reversed position as well. So Aquarius, I can clearly see here three themes that are expressing challenges in their own ways. And I've got to be honest with you, sweets. I know that you had new beginnings recently, and I know that you've been going through some stuff recently in terms of some positive growth, especially in your relationships. However, I also feel like you are your biggest critic sometimes. We share that, Aquarius and Capricorn, because of Saturn. And I think that what's happening in June is you do have challenges, but they are being made even worse because you may either be isolating yourself or you're telling yourself that it is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. I don't know if that's entirely true, sweets. I don't mean to minimize anything. By all means, you deserve every right to feel validated in how you are feeling. But I also objectively am looking at someone who is focusing on a lot of their negatives as well. With waning gibbous here, something is trying to end in your life and you seem to be clinging to it, holding on to it instead of allowing the chance for it to dissipate. It kind of reminds me of when you have scar tissue and it sits there as a reminder of what has happened, and every now and then you kind of touch it and you go, oh, that still hurts. It's like, no, scar tissue is evidence that you've healed. It's evidence that, yes, you may have been through something, but the scab, the wound is no longer there. So there seems to be this issue of you going back to something or clinging on to something that you have actually outgrown, that you've actually already overcome, and instead you're kind of just still holding on to it and stuck on it for some reason. I will use tarot to get more specific, but I want to touch on each of the themes before we do that. So let's have a look at this new moon and Grand Cross. I learned today that a Grand Cross is a very challenging conjunction between planets where you have all of these squares and then you have all of these oppositions, and basically it's a lot of pressure and it feels very difficult and challenging at times. Sometimes you can use that challenge to transform, and then other times you're just looking at it as this situation is fucked. Sorry for swearing, but wow, this is a difficult situation. Now, the new moon here is telling a different story. The new moon is saying, Aquarius, in June, you have the opportunity to take your challenges and use them to transform yourself out of that situation, especially with the moths that are on this card. Moths, just like butterflies, develop through transformation. They do not start as moths. They start as these little grubs, and then through eating and sleeping and hibernation and the wonderful power of cocoons, they become their glorious powdery winged selves. So I feel like June gives you a chance to transform something that you know isn't working, a situation that has been very challenging for you, a situation that has caused pressure in multiple aspects of your life, not just this relationship, but maybe your job as well, maybe your relationship with other people, and just how you see yourself as well. So that is another main theme in June. And last but not least, with Ascendant over here reversed, I see that before you move forward, you've got to figure out how and what it is that you want to do for yourself. Ascendant is your rising sign. It's your the person that people see when they first meet you, before they get to know you, their first impression of you, for example. And it feels like with that card reversed, you're not showing people yourself, you're hiding yourself, or you're holding back, and you're not embracing that side of you that is curious and that does get out there and interact with others. You're trying to be very moody, or you're trying to be very covert and secretive and careful about what people see. It's almost like you're afraid of the image that you're putting out there. So let's clarify each of these themes now, starting with that Venus gibbous moon. What is happening with that Venus gibbous moon, Spirit, for Aquarius? What is happening with that Venus gibbous moon for Aquarius, please, Spirit? What is happening with that Venus gibbous moon? Thanking you. Spirit's been so helpful today, like just with the cards and everything. I'm so happy. We have Valley of Goblets and the Magician in the reversed position. We also have the Five of Wands in the upright position. So listen, sweets, this is a challenging situation for sure, but you know what's making it worse? With this waning gibbous, this tough cycle is struggling to end, and you're clinging onto it because you're comparing yourself to other people. Oh, but so-and-so from high school has done that already. Oh, but my cousin's girlfriend's already done that and she looks amazing. I feel like comparison is literally the thief of all your joy, Aquarius. You're comparing yourself to your peers, and you're doing so in a way that is directly attacking you, who you are, your image, your confidence with the Magician. It's causing you to lose confidence in what you were capable of achieving, which is very un-Aquarius-like. You're one of the most capable, creative and hardworking signs. So with the Valley of Goblets here, it feels like what's happening is we're taking a very light-hearted approach to a situation that actually requires more oomph. We're looking at it as, oh yeah, okay, like I'll cop that, I'll take that, or I'll say that, or I'll self-deprecate just to kind of get through that awkward topic. Like I'll cut myself short before somebody else has the chance to say it. And it's like we're using that to deflect from a very hectic situation that is really impacting our ability to confidently move forward and create in terms of the opportunities we're being given. So I feel like the situation is also a case of people just having a lot of strong opinions for some of you, a lot of people assuming this, assuming that, and having opinions about this, opinions about that, which are impacting your ability to see the situation clearly in terms of what you can do. However, with the Valley of Goblets there, it may also have to do with you comparing yourself to a sibling or comparing yourself to your love interest and automatically admitting defeat and going, you know what, there's no way I can be that good. And so the perpetual cycle of you struggling to let go of this situation continues. I feel like we need to get you some advice, but I want you to know that waning gibbous, something is ending, and we can't keep doing it. We can't keep going around that roundabout and continuing to believe in such things or act in such ways. It's not only unhelpful, but it is going to be forcibly ended. So a tower moment could happen there if you're not careful. What is the advice there for Aquarius, please, Spirit? What is the advice for Aquarius? the waning gibbous. Oh. You have passion, love, and happiness. So let me show you these 3 cards. Passion, love, and happiness. Passion and love are blocked. What the heck, Aquarius? Why? Why? You're taking all the fun out of it. I'm just joking. Happiness is good though. So for some of you, you were doing these things for somebody that you loved. You were saying such things and belittling yourself and making yourself appear smaller for someone that you loved, either because it was easier for them or because they're the ones that taught you to do this. They're the ones that made you think that this is how you should act. I see that your advice here is to redefine passion and love, because some of you have put an unhealthy amount of, power into the hands of somebody who doesn't actually love you. They don't have that genuine, because they're not allowing you to be your authentic self. They're not allowing you to be your quirky Aquarius self. So with passion reversed, it makes me question how we got into this mess. What is the leading cause? Therefore, what is the fuel to get us out of it? What is the attachment? What is the reason why we do this? What is, and it may be a very deep and long journey of healing and discovery, whereas for others of you it could be as simple as going, well, actually, like I can start to think or do or act or say or attach differently. Passion over here though, passion reversed is interesting because it tells me that there is an unhealthy attachment that is causing this prolonged ending. And ultimately, your advice is to just do ultimately what's going to make you happy, which has to do with a transformation, which makes sense why New Moon and Grand Cross is here. It may be a very challenging transformation in which you may have to really pull all your resources together in order to get out of it, really kind of scrounge up that money in order to get out of it. It makes me think that there could be loved ones that are actually limiting your ability to get out of it or causing challenges in how you get out of this. Let's have a look at what's happening here. New Moon with Grand Cross, please, Spirit. Let's move over there because I think these two are related. What is happening with the New Moon and Grand Cross when it comes to Aquarius? What is happening with the New Moon and Grand Cross when it comes to Aquarius? Hi. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm a little bit tired when it comes to you, sweets. I feel like you are tired. Listen, I've been filming all day, but I don't always get like this in readings. It's only certain signs, like when we're channeling certain energies, that this happens. And sweets, you need to take better care of yourself, especially physically. You're a hard worker, but you put so much effort into these things, and I don't know, I'm just a bit worried about you, Aquarius. We have Tarot del Toro upright, we have the 3 of Swords reversed, and we have the 7 of Pentacles upright as well. I'm a little bit worried about you. Your energy here in this New Moon Grand Cross is one of a main character trying to find themselves after a significant issue, and I think that the significant issue in hindsight will be a turning point. Absolutely. It'll be a harrowing chapter in your overall existence. However, it's not the worst thing you've been through. It's a 3 of Swords moment, which tells me, yes, it's heartbreaking. Yes, you need to spend time validating your feelings, your hurt, your pain, and healing from them. But at the end of the day, you're the main character here. You're the one that whose story this is what I'm trying to say. And I see that through this transformative process, through the challenges, you're going to start to find out where it is that this road is taking you next. And this painful situation, this challenging situation, is not only temporary, but it is absolutely ending, Aquarius. With the 7 of Pentacles upright, I not only see a new beginning happening for you, I see the chance to really plant seeds and grow in a long, meaningful way. Something that is not only distracting and helps sort of you deal with the hurt and the pain, but it also helps you feel like what you're putting your efforts towards will be worth it in the end and will be rewarded. And I can tell you with the Seven of Pentacles upright, it may take time, but it definitely will pay off. This looks like you going back to school for some of you, getting other qualifications. This looks like you investing money for some of you. This looks like you taking an interest towards some sort of physical venture that could have to do with your health or being physical. However, the goal here is to gain confidence and to be a main character again and to find a place to plant your seeds, basically. Something that distracts you from this pain, this issue that's going on in the background here. So let us have a look at the advice. What is the advice for Aquarius in this situation, please, Spirit? We have well-being. Oh, we got all three. Did we get three? We did. It's interesting. This boundaries card has come out for every air sign so far. So it's so clearly an obvious message in the collective right now. Look at that. Well-being and lighten your load. Remember I was telling you, sweets, how I'm getting tired, I'm getting physically sore. Well, I'm not surprised. We have lighten your load as your advice. We also have boundaries showing up for you in the upright. So as advice, Aquarius, Spirit is saying, like, prioritize your health, actually. Some of you do need to be taking care of your well-being, and I don't mean looking at a number on a scale. I'm talking about your holistic well-being, your happiness, your mental health, how you feel, not just how much you weigh, but what does your body feel like? Are you tired? You need to look into ways to take better care of yourself, only because I can see here that you have so much on your back. With lighten your load and the Grand Cross, there is so much challenge coming from all kinds of angles, expectations, challenges. For some of you, yes, other people are expecting you to be able to pull all of this together and do this crazy feat of strength in front of them. And in which case, I think that not only should you be lightening your load and managing other people's expectations of you by setting realistic standards and boundaries, but you also need to establish boundaries with yourself about how you're investing your energy, your free time, and your valuable energy in terms of each one of us has a natural circadian rhythm, right? Some of us are morning people, some of us are night owls. When are you most productive and active in the day? How are you spending and investing your effort and your energy in that time of the day? For me, I'm most productive in the evenings. I try to get up early and I try to do things in the morning, but I know that if there's something that's going to take a lot of effort or that's going to take a lot of strength, I do it in the afternoons and the evenings. Know those things about yourself to set better boundaries with yourself. For example, if you're really tired and you're having trouble sleeping, but you're also spending 4 hours in bed scrolling on your phone and exhausting yourself even further, set better boundaries. It has to do with you as an individual, though, and what you are finding difficult and challenging. You kind of have to be your own little doctor here, symptom checker, and then trying to find the balance. Side note, if you are concerned about your health, don't delay, please. Go get checked by a doctor. With lighten your load and the Seven of Pentacles with the Grand Cross, this issue does not need to be prolonged. It can be fixed as long as you address it early, okay? That tells me that if you have health concerns, the sooner the better. And I mean, that basically goes unsaid, but I feel like this is an issue that will only get worse with time, the longer we prolong it. Let's have a look at Ascendant now. What is happening for Aquarius with the Ascendant sign, please, Spirit? What is happening for Aquarius with the Ascendant? Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So for Ascendant, we have the Seven of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Death card. The Eight of Pentacles and the Death card are upright, and that Seven of Swords is reversed, okay? So I do see something coming to light here in June. You may be very worried about how others are going to see you once this information comes out. It either is concerning you or it's information that you have the power to release to other people. This is what is going to help transform your circumstances, though. You're being more authentic here. You're being more honest, you're being open, you're sharing something. Someone may be opening up to you, which is triggering you sharing information as well. However, the goal here with that ascendant energy is to try to transform something that isn't working. You have not been showing your authentic self with those who care about you. Some of you are living two worlds. You have a relationship over here and then you have family over there. You have your lifestyle here and then you have your family there. This could even be very deep. It could have to do with your sexuality, Aquarius, but I see the opportunity here to start to be more authentic to who you are. Not because you owe anybody an explanation about your actions, but because you deserve to feel like yourself in every setting. So with transformation upright, there is a purging, an ending of who you once were in order to embrace who you want to be. I see a shift in identity in June, you experimenting with your self-image and with how you introduce yourself to others. It could be as simple as you needing some time to figure out who it is that you are and maybe taking upon a physical reinvention, cutting your hair, styling your hair differently, dressing differently. While others of you, this transformation is going to impact your career path, it's going to impact the friendships you have, and it's going to make people who care about you worry a little bit, if I'm honest, because you seem to be wanting to do this so secretively, or it's something that you've already started. If this is something that you've already started, I see you being more open and honest about it and having the ability to share it with people that you feel comfortable with. Now, that Eight of Pentacles tells me that this is something that's going to take time. It's not just an issue that can be resolved after one chance or one opportunity. It's something we need to work on. It's something that could be a whole lifetime of discovery, of creation, of self, focusing on self in a healthy way and balancing out other people's expectations of us versus what we want to do. So know that when it comes to this situation, the efforts you invest are worth it, and they are definitely going to be helpful in the long run, but it is a long-term game, okay? So just managing your expectations. There will be minor setbacks along the way. As long as you don't give up, you will always gain ground. Let us get some advice in this situation. I have a little message as well for those who are saving to buy a car or buy a house, something with big money attached to it that may incur stamp duty. If you're in a country that has to pay stamp duty costs, that's probably just an Australian thing, sadly. Anyway, if you are saving, I believe that all the issues we spoke about today in your reading are impacting your ability to achieve that goal because you're doubting yourself, because you're comparing yourself to other people, because you're not pushing in the right direction, because you're not focused on things fully. You're using these things as distractions from the bigger issues. If you can address those other challenges, using them to transform your situation, you will not only be able to lighten your load and get rid of some of those challenges, but you'll also be closer towards your goals because you'll be more focused, you'll have more energy, you'll feel stronger, you'll feel healthier, you'll feel happier, you'll have more stamina. It will come to you quicker. So if you've been experiencing any issues with achieving financial goals, I see that that could be an issue. That could be a part of this because you seem to be looking at your long-term investments as distractions from what is currently happening right now. So you get serious in order to distract yourself about what is basically falling apart around you. What is the advice for the Ascendant card over here, please, Spirit? What is the advice for the Ascendant card? Okay, that's helpful. So I see this issue being a constant issue with you, sweets. The Ascendant, it's not something that can be fixed overnight. However, it does get easier. It's not something that's supposed to linger either. The first two cards that came out for you were Freedom and Closure in the reverse position. If it will focus, it likes to focus on me instead, which is really annoying. We also have Blessings in the upright position over here. I hope it's focusing somewhat. It's going to be so annoying if it hasn't focused at all. So as advice to this Ascendant business, Spirit's advice is that you don't need to be stuck in this situation. You should feel free. And I know that this may be a very, what's the word? It's easy for me to say, right? I'm not you. It's easy for me to say. It may be very easy. Words are just words. But I need you to know from Spirit, you don't need to be stuck. You don't need to feel like yourself any longer. You don't need to feel like you can't be who you truly are, denying your true nature or denying your true authentic image. Your worlds are colliding, and it's happening so that you can ultimately liberate yourself, free yourself from something that has been holding you back. Being honest will help. I'm hearing the truth will set you free. But you also need to accept that as you move forward, you may never gain full peace and full closure with where you've come from, what you're leaving behind. You may have to walk away accepting that all the closure that you will get is what you already have. And eventually that will get easier, but it is going to be very painful. I think the goal here is to get you into a safer place and to just kind of remove those issues for the time being. Your next task, which could take a lifetime, is to find peace with what has happened. With blessings here, I see that you're going to go from the frying pan into a warm, cozy plate, not a fire. The goal here is to bring you signs of confirmation that you ending something and walking away from something was the right thing to do. So stay receptive, be open to whatever may happen, and trust that a clear sign that what you've done is right is that you will be received in a warm way. It feels like you're going to be given signs that you're on the right path because you're going to feel blessed. So either you'll receive blessings, confirmation, or there's going to be like a clear sign that this is what you needed to do. It reminds me of when you take a leap of faith and there's so many uncertainties and unknown variables, and then you receive confirmation because everything starts to fall into place. All you had to do was take that leap. So Aquarius, that is what I'm seeing for you for the month of June. You had a very specific, interesting message. So if it did not resonate, you may have messages in your sun or your rising, maybe your moon even, depends on what you're here for. It was a very interesting reading indeed. So take what resonates. Do not let the rest take from you. I hope this reading was informative. I hope above all you look after yourself and you have a prosperous, abundant June month ahead. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to connect with you very, very soon. Bye.